What's going on, you guys? We've got arms and shoulders today about to go down, and the off season, the growth phase, is continuing as per the plan. So, we're floating about 194 right at the moment. So, weight has definitely picked up since the start of the growth phase. Start of the growth phase, we were about 186. So, we're doing good. We're trucking right along. Thanksgiving definitely helped with the added water retention and extra food in the stomach. But workouts have been feeling absolutely fantastic. Movements are flying by. We've got a couple of lifts to a place where not that I didn't think they would get to, but didn't think they would get to that quickly. Also, I think somebody just about got T-boned right behind me, so that's fun. Anyway, but yeah, nothing super flashy today. Since it's just shoulders and arms, I think the heaviest or like most flashy lift that I'll do today is the Viking press. But other than that, it's just a painful day of getting a wicked pump from about here down on both sides. I actually found this old flannel that I haven't worn in forever in my closet that's extra large, and it feels like I'm wearing a wetsuit because it's so fucking tight, which is awesome, but also I might rip it on accident or on purpose. Depends on what I'm feeling. But with all of that being said, workout is probably going to take anywhere from an hour and a half to like an hour and 45 minutes. Depends on how much rest time I take in between sets. Sometimes I get impatient and I just fucking go at it for the next set. Or depends on how many warm-up sets I end up doing. Same thing. Sometimes I get impatient and I'm just like, one warm-up set kind of felt like it was good enough. But I never do that in the beginning of the workout out of fear of injury, which I would not recommend doing. And what I would recommend doing is doing at least 2 to 3 warm-up sets before your first movement of any body part, and then from there, like if you're going to hit another bicep movement, whatever the case is, maybe do like one warm-up set with half of the load that you plan on using so that you can get accustomed to the movement pattern and where you're going to be taking that weight. Just really feel the exercise before you have to do it maximally for your top set. But yeah, not a whole lot going on for the growth phase other than that. We're getting bigger every day. We're eating a fuckload of food. We're still at 3,000-ish calories every day. And the grind continues. So, with all of that being said, the song of the day today is going to be Whiplash by Architects. It's on a new album that they're coming out with. And honestly, the last like 30 seconds of the song is where it really takes off. So, if you like metal music and you like fucking epic breakdowns, then that's the song for you. It's funny, I just saw like one of the other coaches I know walk in front of me, and I had to like head nod and wave at him, and then one of my buddies walked the other direction, so I had to head nod and wave at him, just pretending like I'm not speaking to a camera in my car like a fucking weirdo. They all know that I'm weird. Don't worry about it. They also all know that I do this, so meh, whatever. If you guys see this, hey, what's up? Yeah, I think I'm done yapping. Well, hopefully I don't see any of that again. What I just chugged, I mean. And I ripped this flannel in half. I'm going to get in there and try my best to do just that. I will see every single one of you in the posing room. Alright, workout is complete. We're now in the posing room. Viking press was absolutely fantastic. Ended up hitting 270, so 3 plates on each side for 5 reps. Definitely was harder than last week. Last week I was only doing 2 plates and a 35 on each side, but I survived. So, we're all good there. Now, without any further ado, we'll get a quick pump check, and then I will yap some more in the car, bestow some knowledge upon the viewing audience, let you guys know what's up. But
If you want to skip the posing and get straight to making your brain slightly more filled with random knowledge of fitness, just skip past this part.
All right, finished up meal number 4, finished up the steps for the day. That's pretty much it. However, one thing that I want to talk about really quick, that knowledge that I said that I wanted to impart upon all of you. When you are deciding how much cardio to do for fat loss, it's gonna come down to how much can you do and still recover, how much can you do without it impacting all of your other training, and how much are you doing right now, and how much of an increase will the amount that you want to do be. So let's say you're just starting a diet and you want to toss in an hour of cardio every day when you've been doing none. First of all, that's going to fuck you up immediately, depending on what kind of cardio you do. Honestly, even if you're just walking at a decent pace for an hour every day when you haven't been for forever, it's going to make you at least a little bit more tired. But if you're doing cardio with any sort of intensity, which I'm not saying you have to, but if you are, for that much time right out of the gate, one, it's going to put you into a decently steep deficit if you also adjust your calories accordingly for the beginning of your diet. But if that's your first adjustment and you carry that for as long as you can, eventually you're going to have to increase that. So I would say best bet, start with much smaller increments, because not only is that going to allow you to see the continuous progress from increasing the cardiovascular activity and your overall energy expenditure every day slightly, but also if you add in that hour of cardio every day right out of the gate, it's going to make you so fucking tired and sore that your training is going to suffer, your weightlifting is going to suffer. Then, because now your weightlifting is suffering because you're putting all of your energy that you've got for the day into your cardio, you're not going to either perform as well as you could during the weight training and lose muscle mass as a byproduct of not training as hard, or you're going to lift first, use up all your energy there, then go into an hour of cardio that you're half-assing and not doing the way that you should be doing because you're exhausted from the weightlifting, and now you're trying to get yourself to do an hour of cardio every single day. And then the cardio is going to have less of a stimulating effect anyway because you're half-assing the cardio. And then the next day you're going to wake up exhausted from both because you're not feeding yourself enough to recover from all of that shit, and you just decided to toss it in there willy-nilly instead of very incrementally slowly increasing. That the next day you're going to wake up and then training is going to suffer. So, good rule of thumb, make smaller changes with your increase in cardiovascular expenditure. I would say, contrary to what I just said, the biggest increase that you do should be in the very beginning of a diet phase, but it shouldn't be something ridiculous is what I'm getting at. So if you're going from no cardio to some cardio, that's probably going to be the biggest change that you make initially, even if it's just like you go from zero cardio whatsoever, you've been doing 10,000 steps every day in your off season, and then you change it to where now you're doing 11,000 steps every day and 30 minutes of cardio twice a week on your rest days or whatever the case. That's probably going to be the biggest change, because the next change you make might be 30 minutes 3 times a week or 45 minutes twice a week. So you're just adding another 30 minutes where initially you added the hour. So the biggest change will come in the beginning, then slowly make incremental changes with your cardio, and it will go as high as you can still recover from and as high as you can make it without your training and weightlifting suffering. So you've got 2 knobs to pull during a fat loss diet, during a dieting phase, one of which is your cardio, one of which is your calories. You can either lower your calories or increase your cardio. If cardio is at a point where you can physically do no more, or you don't have enough time during the day to do any more, like you literally will be sleeping 6 hours, doing all your cardio and going to work and doing nothing else, and if you don't have any more time to fit in more cardio, that's fine, but then we have to lower your calories instead. And I always like with my clients to try to hold on to as many of their calories as we can for as long as we can so that their training doesn't suffer. So we'll increase cardio if they've got the time, if they've got the energy, and they have the recovery capabilities. But if they don't, then we leave cardio where it's at, and then we start to pull down calories until ultimately we get to the point of the fat loss diet that we were aiming for in the beginning. Now there's thousands of different scenarios for how all of that will play out, and 9 times out of 10 somebody's going to be like, yeah, well, what if Santa Claus jumps off my roof and lands on my legs, and then how much cardio should I do then? I don't fucking know. Like, if that happens to one of my clients, I'll figure it the fuck out, but until that happens, I'm not going to think about it. There's a myriad of more plausible scenarios and situations that are much more likely to happen. I'm going to keep my mind concerned on those. And if I run into Santa Claus jumping off a roof and breaking my client's legs, then you know what? I'll find a way. We'll do handstand walks or some shit. Because I'm going to assume that this made-up scenario client is a Olympic athlete and CrossFit Games level agility mastermind who can do anything he wants. So, now that very long rant about how much cardio is enough cardio for fat loss, or what number of cardio hours you should spend throughout the week, or days, or minutes, or whatever. Lots of words, lots of shit, lots of things. To summarize all that, do as much cardio as you can without killing yourself. And if you need to lower your food a little bit instead of increasing your cardio, that's fine. Go ahead. So, the off season continues. I continue to get bigger, and we continue to push our limits every single day. I'm going to do my check-ins with Alex, well, finish them up tonight, get the results from him tomorrow, see if we're going to change anything. More than likely not. Just because we're still in the very beginning stages of the off-season. We've already made a bunch of changes in the beginning just to get in the off-season and get everything set up. So now it's just a matter of putting my head down and fucking working for months and days and weeks and about a year on end until we put on the amount of size that we need in order to be competitive. And then we start prep again. But for now, I'm going to keep fucking grinding. And every single one of you, eat your food, drink your water, get some sleep, and ultimately, make some gains. I'll see every single one of you in the next video. Have a good one, you guys.